Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I can't wait to look in the mirror. I get better looking each day. To know me is to love me. I must be one hell of a man. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble. I'm doing the best that I can.
Like it. Oughta play You're So Vain after that. You probably think the vids is about you. It's not. It's about me. It's terrible. Hear birds? I can hear birds. I'm sitting on the front porch. This is Ted, living down to expectations on a Tuesday. There's a calendar I have over there. It's Tuesday, the 2nd of October. Where the fuck did September go? And it's 10 minutes after 2. I got to go get my kids in a little bit. Excuse me. But, you know, the deal is I'm here living down, telling you some shit. And hope you appreciate it. You probably don't. Whatever. Anyway, I want to talk about something that's close to home. Literally, the tar sands pipeline. That way. It's going to be going down, passing us to the west. Less than 30 miles, I think. Over there, going down to the Gulf. It's going to come all the way from Canada to the Gulf, and it's some really nasty shit. It's like gooey. You know, they squeeze this oil out of the sand up there in northern Canada. They are so fucking up the environment up there to do that, and wasting water, and it's such a goopy gunk, it won't pour, and you sure can't shove it through a pipe. So what they have to do is they have to mix it with really volatile gas so that it is soft enough. What's the word? Viscous? I don't know. There's a word. Anyway, so that it is fluid enough. I guess that's it. So it'll pass through that pipeline, and it's going to go all the way from Canada down here. They're fucking up the environment, and it's going to go all the way to the Gulf Coast, and I am so opposed to it. Okay? I am. I think it's horrible. I think it's disgusting and pathetic, and there's some folks up here in North Texas, some young people that are, what was it, they glued themselves to something. I'm unsure. I saw that they'd glued their hands to something, and some of them had put them plastic lock pipes together where their hands are locked together, and they're up in trees. They're on property that's going to come through. They're trying to stop the installation of that pipe. And they're pissing in the wind. They're admirable. They're probably good kids. People that own that land, they let it happen. Some of them might be part of it, and it sucks that they've been screwed by Texas law. I mean, they have been totally screwed by Texas law and forced to let that go down their property. Eminent domain was never, never, never meant to do that. Never. It was meant to allow someone to get water on their property when there's a property dividing it. It was meant to allow high lines for electricity because we have to have a grid somehow, which is kind of tacky. I got an email. We have the land that I live on belongs to my mother-in-law. It has, has a right-of-way for a power line. You can't build anything under it, and I don't like it. But those things are necessary for all of us, and this fucking pipeline is only necessary for the big companies and taxes for the government, and mostly the big companies who get out of paying taxes, as we all know. So I'm so opposed to the whole thing, and I feel sad that these landowners got screwed, and I feel bad for these people that are up there, protesting because they're going to fail. They're going to fail. Because we're talking money that's too big, we're talking government that's too big, and we're talking sheeple people who really don't, well, they're ignorant, they don't know, and they're stupid because they won't listen, and they're cowards because even a lot of those that understand would never get in the way of that production. Chicken shit. And I would. No, I would be up there right now. There's a lot of places I would be protesting if I thought it would do any good. The Occupy movement, you know, I thought, I said, those kids are noble. They have an idea. They didn't get on message like they should have. They should have pinned this thing down, and they didn't. You know, you can't just say, we oppose everything, and not come back with something else. And that's one of the reasons they fizzled out. The other reason they fizzled out is because when they stopped making news, the cops started dragging their ass off by the feet, and their ass off by the feet, started dragging them off by the feet, and the news media quit covering it. Duh, you know. So Occupy died, better, more or less. I mean, there's still some around. I still get some stuff from Occupy Austin. They still do a few things, but they're not doing what they were doing, and they didn't accomplish what they wanted to accomplish because they did it the wrong way. Really. And all that money that was donated to them, in my personal opinion, was wasted. Wasted. About a year and a half ago. Was it longer than that? Might have been. Yeah. I started an online newspaper, and my goal was to raise some money to not have an online newspaper, but have something on real paper that we could distribute. I couldn't find enough interest to get people to do that, and I thought that was really sad. And that, my friend, that's where you're going to change the world. You're not going to stop this pipeline. You should have thought about that a long time ago. You're not going to stop it. It's too far. It's too far advanced. There's too much money in it. And you're never going to do anything about the 1%. And you're never going to do anything about the condescending assholes that look down on the 47%. You're never going to affect any of that. You're not. Why? Because there are stupid people and there are ignorant people. Now, I ran across a guy the other day, a couple of them, that were ignorant. Man, I'd piss them off. If I'd looked at him and said, you are ignorant, dude. But the fact of it was, you know, he wasn't afraid to hear it. But he had never heard what I told him. I mean, this guy never didn't have internet, no email, no. He was older than I am, of course. Most of the older generation have no connection to the cyber world at all. They don't know. All they get is the television news. Ugh, right? Television news. Ugh. Don't go tell me this bullshit they're biased for Obama. That's bullshit. They're biased for money is what they're biased for. They're biased for whoever pays to put those ads on there. And whoever the corporation is pays to put those ads on there. Bring that over here where you can see it. They're the ones that are going to follow. They're the ones that are going to obey. Okay? And the 1% said take the Occupy off. And, you know, old Romney dude is 1%. Way up there. 0.01%? 0.01%? Way up there. You know, they're the people that said take that shit off. So they did. Don't cover the cops beating kids up. So they're not getting news. They're not getting information. They're not getting truth if they are just stuck reading a local paper. Oh, man, our local paper is such an awful religious rag. It's pathetic. It don't cover news at all. It doesn't cover national news at all. And regional news sucks, and it's... Oh, don't even get me started on the Lufkin Daily News. Don't. But, these people, they don't get it. Because they don't get it. Literally, they don't get the news. And I told my buddies last year, And I say the Occupy movement, the key to change in this country is not protest, because nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to hear it. They're going to drag your ass off, and they're going to do what they want to do. Occupy ain't going to work, even if they did have a good platform. Even if they did come up with something that says, these are the answers, ding, 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 and this is our political platform, and we support this, 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 and this, and this guy, this guy, this guy, and this woman, and this woman, and this woman, because they support what we believe in. If they had done that, and just did what they did last year, they still wouldn't have worked. But they had this huge amount of money that dropped in their lap, and I'm going, oh, shit, man, give me that. I'll change the world. I will. And you know how? It's called a copy machine. Yeah. A copy machine, like my wife has up there at her office. One of these, big leased copy machines that you can stick reams of paper in, and you can pop that puppy in there, and you can make like a 4-page thing. And they have them over at, the big guy office supply stores where they'll run 11 by 17. Give me one of those and I'll change the world. Give me a few truckloads of paper and one of those printers and the toner to go with it, and I'll change the world. How? I'll go out there and I'll put this piece of paper in their hands and I'll say, read this. This is truth. You want to know what's going on with the tar sands? I'll have pictures and documentation and reality and put it on paper. Now, that's my word for the day, people. You want to change the world? Forget the damn protest. Forget politics. It ain't gonna happen. They're owned. Damn, I could tell you stuff. I've looked it up. I could research and explain to you how Washington, D.C. is literally owned by rich lobby groups. Not rich. Rich just not even cut it. Insanely, pathetically above rich. And they own politicians. They own your congressman. And mine, damn, they got him by the chook. I can tell you that. They own him lock, stock, and balls. They do. Yeah. Oh, Louis Gohmert, yeah. He's a dumbass. He really is. I'm telling you, watch this. They're not going to like it. He's just so stupid. He just says the weirdest things. Talks about old Alex Jones there. Oh my God. But I can tell you what, them rich guys got him in their pocket. Ever since he ran the first time, they have him in their pocket. And they got him fuddled because he thinks it's all about God and Jesus, and we're going to bring God back in the government. It ain't got a thing to do with that. Got to do with money. Can I have an aside here? All right, I was fixing to wrap it up, but I got to do this aside thing. I don't get it. You got the religious people over here. These people. These are Christians. These are people that have moral ethics. And their Bible says, blessed are the poor. And blessed are the poor at heart. And Jesus said, sell everything and go serve the poor. And then you got these guys up here on Wall Street, and you got these big corporations, and they are the 1%. They're the 0.01%. And they're doing every single cotton picking thing the Bible says not to do with money. Why? Why are they on the same side? Why would somebody who says you're supposed to serve the poor get all pissed off over food stamps that make sure somebody don't go hungry? Would you please fucking explain that to me? God. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Anyway, I shouldn't have done that. It took too much time. But if you want to change the world, let's go back to where I was. I digressed. You want to change the world? You're not going to change the world by protesting. You're not going to change the world by praying. You're not going to change the world by voting. I know. All of you get out to vote, people. I'm pissing you off, but it's true. It's a fucking waste of time. Like what you got. You got the devil with a deep blue sea, right? Obama. He's bad. Romney, he's worse. In Texas, Romney's going to win. There's not a damn thing I can do it because this state is so full of stupid people. And I don't know if I'm going to vote or not. I really don't. I'd vote for Obama because I don't want that Romney dickhead to get in there. I don't want some son of a bitch that looks down his nose at me because of my situation that I can do nothing about. You know, I don't want him who despises me for being a big guy sitting on the front porch in front of a mobile home with a beard and long hair and not earning a living, you know, paying part of 47%. You know, fuck you, Mr. Romney. Just fuck you. Okay, that's another aside. So you're not gonna accomplish anything with voting. Here's what you're gonna do if you're gonna ever change the world. And nobody, I don't know why, has not figured this out. Old Alex, shit, the world's coming to an end. Jones doesn't seem to figure it out. Of course, this wouldn't make him any money. This would cost him money. You get to, you go to, AlexJones.com, PrisonPlanet.com. You saw the box ads on there. Click on one of them things. You're gonna buy yourself a survival kit, $59.95. Oh, but that's just a little bitty kit. What you got to do is buy yourself a whole bunch of survival shit, and that costs $575.50 shipped, post, paid. Yeah, and that little chunk that goes to, Alex, dude. So, got a little money going there. Now, he ain't doing this either. If you people really give a fuck that this world's going to hell, and you really want to do something, old Ted sitting on the front porch knows what to do. Listen to me, people. You go down and you get yourself a copy machine. You get you one of those big copiers that'll make 11 by 17 sheets, and you get some people that knows how to write. I dealt with a magazine once for trucking and tried to develop it once. Long story. But my boss, who was developing this, wanted to write a piece, and oh my God. What do you do when your boss cannot write, when it's so bad? Do you just completely edit it and publish it that way? Or do you tell him, that really sucks? You rewrite it? What do? You need some people that can write. And being immodest. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble. I'm a pretty damn good writer. But you get some people that can write, that know how to write. They know how to put two sentences together and know how to write to the common people, not to the upper elite, And you write and you produce and you publish a newspaper. And you don't try to distribute it. Look at that, my hands are nervous. You don't try to distribute it, through Barnes and Noble and shit like it. Forget that. No, you get volunteers. You get people out there that give a damn. Like all these Occupy people, they were all for Occupy. If they'd have said, this is Occupy, they did that. They made their own little newspaper thing. But it was just kind of for them. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something for everybody. You get these people and you distribute this thing everywhere you get them to take them out to. Laundromats, to Walmart. You hand them out on the street. You go out to parks and you put these things in people's hands. You make one about the oil sands, and you put pictures, and you put descriptions, and you put truth, and you put documentation, and you tell it in a way that ignorant people who don't understand anything, who don't have a great education, can understand it. Put it in their language. And you hand it to them in person. That's what you do. You're never, ever, ever, listen to me. I'm going to put my finger right there. Yeah. You're never going to change this world by protesting, by voting, by pissing around on the internet, by doing shit like I'm doing. Am I stupid? Yeah. You're not. You're not. The only way you're going to do it is you're going to have to put it on paper. Put it on 11 by 17, make 4 pages. That'll print 2 sides. You can do that on any laptop. You can produce it on any laptop. You can get freeware to produce this thing. Or, you know, my laptop, it comes with Word. You know? It comes with Word, a limited version of Word. You can do that. Do it with that. It don't have to be complicated. And you can publish it. Put it online, sure. Yeah. But don't let that be your news product. Put it on paper. And put it in people's hands. If you don't, then all you're going to have is a world full of stupid people who you can't get to open their ears up, who are going to remain ignorant people, and the world's going to fucking hell. It is, and you're not going to be able to stop it. I can promise you that. And I just don't see that happening, people. But you want some help with writing? I'm your man. Really? I mean, just give me a call, send me an email, I'll let you know what I've written. You don't like it? I promise you will. I'm good about it. So put it on paper. Distribute it. Well, shut the